Today we're taking a look at these MLB matches, which are happening on Tuesday, May 9, 2023, and giving you our team and total picks for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and to push the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Also check out our Patreon if you want access to our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money, and if you are interested in props and parlay picks, check out our new channel High Stakes Props and Parlays, where you can find our player props and parlay picks predictions. You will find the link to our Patreon and to our new channel in the description and comments section below. Detroit Tigers vs Cleveland Guardians. The Detroit Tigers have assembled an under-the-radar roster in recent years, with plenty of enthusiastic young talent, and after a slow start to the season, they've managed to turn it around in a big way on their recent road trip. Now, they find themselves with a 6-1 record in their past 7 overall games, but unfortunately they are just 3-7 in their past 10 games played on the road against right-handed pitching, and up against one of the best in the game. This should be a tough matchup. The Cleveland Guardians often go overlooked in the American League Central, but have managed to perform at the highest level for years now, and even without elite talent at every position, they pose a threat anytime they step foot on the field. In their past 24 games played against American League Central Division rivals, the Guardians have come away with a 17-7 record, and with particular dominant against Detroit, they'll be looking to bounce back behind Shane Bieber in Game 2 of this series. Over the past few seasons, the Cleveland Guardians have been the class of the AL Central, and in doing so, they've managed to build a dominant record against all of their rivals, and while 2023 is a different season, it's tough to look past this sheer dominance. In their past 101 head-to-head meetings, the Guardians have come away with a 72-29 record, as well as being 47-16 in their past 63 matchups in Cleveland, and with one of the best pitchers in the game taking the mound, this should be a big bounce back for them. Our team pick is Cleveland minus 1.5 runs. In the first series of the year between these two, we saw just 13 runs scored across all 3 games, and with an expected pitching duel in this one, expect more of the same, with the under being 5-1 in the past 6 overall meetings between these teams. For Detroit, the under sits at 6-1-1 in their past 8 road games against right-handed starters, and for the Guardians, the under is 6-0 in their past 6 games played at home, so look for another fantastic outing from 2 great starters in this one. Keep it simple, take the under. Colorado Rockies vs Pittsburgh Pirates. Colorado enters this game coming off a series win on the road against the Mets and having lost the first game of their 3-game series against the Pirates. In their most recent 2-0 loss, Kyle Freeland got the start and the loss for the Rockies, tossing 7 innings and allowing 7 hits that resulted in 2 earned runs. The Rockies then went to Daniel Bard out of the pen for the 8th. On the offensive end, the Rockies totaled 4 hits and no runs. Chris Bryant had the team's only multi-hit game going 2-4 in a very forgettable game for the Rockies' offense. Overall, this was a tough loss for the Rockies as they just couldn't get anything going on offense. Pittsburgh enters this game having been swept by the Blue Jays in their previous series at home and having won the first game of their current series against the Rockies also at home. In their most recent 2-0 win, Mitch Keller got the start and the win for the Pirates, tossing a complete game shutout in which he only allowed 4 hits while striking out 8. On the offensive end, the Pirates totaled 7 hits and 2 runs, which was enough for them to come away with a win in this one. Ke'Bryan Hayes had the team's only multi-hit game going 2-3 with a walk, while Rodolfo Castro was responsible for the team's only 2 runs with a 2-run bomb he hit in the 7th. That was the decider in a game that was otherwise scoreless for both teams. Taking the Pirates to win this game for a couple of reasons. I am always an advocate for fading the Rockies on the road, as shown in the first game of this series with the Rockies getting shut out. The Pirates don't have much of an edge on the bump in this one, given they are starting Luis Ortiz, who has yet to pitch this season, but neither do the Rockies as they start Connor Seabold, who has been roughed up in his only starts on the season. I think the Pirates' bats and overall momentum win them this game. Expect the bullpen to pitch well in a game that should propose a save opportunity late in the game. When these teams have faced off in the past, the Rockies have lost these teams' past 4 meetings overall and are 2-5 in their past 7 meetings in Pittsburgh. For these reasons, I am confident in taking the Pirates to win this game. Pittsburgh Pirates money line. Taking the under in this game for a couple of reasons. These teams went well under their total last with their 2-0 final, and I don't see much changing in Game 2. This isn't the best pitching matchup in the world, but both starters will be serviceable and capable of keeping us below this 8.5 run total. The Rockies really didn't show much on the offensive end last game, and I don't see a reason to expect otherwise, as the team tends to struggle on the road. The Pirates will be good for a couple of runs, but I wouldn't expect any fireworks from them either. In terms of trends, the Rockies have gone under in 8 of their past 9 Tuesday games and in 7 of their past 8 games against a right-hander. Meanwhile, the Pirates have gone under in their past 5 home games against a team with a losing record. In addition, when these teams have faced off in the past, they have gone under in 12 of their past 16 meetings overall, and the under is 19.64 in their past 29 meetings in Pittsburgh. For these reasons, I am confident in taking the under for this matchup. Our total pick is under 8.5 runs. Tampa Bay Rays vs Baltimore Orioles. Tampa Bay has won 5 of their last 6 games, including a 8-7 extra inning win against the New York Yankees, 18-17 Sioux, 5th in AL East. The Yankees and starting pitcher Jarrett Cole blew a 6-run lead, and third baseman Isaac Paredes singled home second baseman Brandon Lowe in the bottom of the 10th inning to secure the win for the Rays. Catcher Christian Bethancourt and outfielder Jose Siri both went deep for the Rays. Reliever Jalen Beeks picked up the win by striking out Yankee first baseman Anthony Rizzo on a 3-2 pitch in the 10th. Cole, who hit his first poor start of the season, went 5 innings and allowed 6 runs, 5 earned, on 8 hits, and gave up 2 long balls in the loss. The Orioles dropped 2 of 3 with the Atlanta Braves, 24-11, first in NL East over the weekend, including a 3-2 extra innings defeat on Sunday. Baltimore had won 7 consecutive series this season prior to the loss to Atlanta. Tied 1-1 in the top of the 10th, outfielder Anthony Santander put the Orioles ahead on an RBI single, but Atlanta tied it in the bottom of the inning. Outfielder Michael Harris too walked it off for the Braves with a game-ending RBI double. Baltimore starter Tyler Wells went 5 innings and gave up 1 run on 3 hits while striking out 4. Santander went 2 for 4 with an RBI in the loss for Baltimore. First baseman Matt Olson went deep for the Braves. The Rays have struggled at Camden Yards recently. They lost 7 of 10 played there last season, 2 of which were shutouts. Rodriguez pitched great in his 1 start at Camden this season. He pitched 5 innings of shutout ball against the Detroit Tigers, 15-17 Sioux, second in AL Central, while scattering 5 hits and striking out 6. Eflin was not effective on the road in 2022, going 1-4 with a 6.88 ERA over 7 starts and 3 relief appearances while pitching for the Phillies. He gave up 45 hits in 34 innings pitched on the road. The Rays pitching staff is allowing over a run more on the road than at home to their opponents. The Orioles have won 5 of their last 6 games against the spread at home and 5 of the last 8 overall. Baltimore currently owns a 9-4 record at home. Tampa Bay's recent struggles at Camden coupled with the Orioles' solid play there suggests Baltimore will come out on top in this matchup. Take Baltimore with the run line. Tampa Bay ranks high in several key offensive categories, including second in runs scored per game, 6.38, and first in slugging percentage and ISO. The Rays have had no issues scoring on the road this season, averaging 7.15 runs per game, good for first in the league. They also rank first in home runs per game on the road, 2.46, so they can score in bunches. Baltimore has also been swinging the bat well this season, ranking 4th in the majors in runs scored per game, 5.58, and Baltimore has gone over the point total in 4 of their last 6 games overall, and 2 of the last 3 at home. The Rays have gone over the point total in 3 of their last 4 games overall, and 3 of their last 4 on the road as well. Tampa Bay scored 9 or more runs in 3 of 4 games played during their last road series against the Chicago White Sox, 11-23 Sioux, 4th in AL Central. The trend suggests the game between these 2 teams on Tuesday will go over the point total. Take over 8.5 runs. Toronto Blue Jays vs Philadelphia Phillies. Toronto obliterated the Pirates with a 10-1 victory in yesterday's game. Whit Merrifield got his revenge from going hitless the game before to earning 4 RBIs in this contest. Dalton Varsho, Danny Jansen, and Kevin Kiermaier also secured 2 RBIs each. Brandon Belt went 3 for 4 with a walk, and Bo Bichette also had 2 hits in the win. Kikuchi was phenomenal, giving up 0 earned runs in 6.1 innings pitched, while the bullpen had an easy night. Along with a 3-year deal for Bassett, the Blue Jays additionally signed Brandon Belt, Kevin Kiermaier, Chad Green, and Jay Jackson. Teoscar Hernandez has been traded, and Lourdes Gurriel Jr. was part of a package to acquire Dalton Varsho. Bichette was also given a 3-year extension. The Blue Jays also experienced some losses as well, with the departures of Raymond Tapia, David Phelps, Jackie Bradley Jr., and Ross Stripling, to name a few. Philadelphia won their most recent game against the Boston Red Sox by a score of 6-1. Kyle Schwarber and JT Realmuto were the only players to get more than 1 hit on the day, with Schwarber earning 3 RBIs. Realmuto knocked in a pair, while Nick Castellanos had the last run batted in on the win. Taijuan Walker had a solid performance with 6 innings pitched and only 1 run given. The Phillies were not satisfied with a mere World Series appearance, so they loaded up with some huge free agent signings. The biggest of the lot was a $300 million contract for 11 years to Tree Turner. While his speed will decline towards the final years of his contract, nobody can deny that he is a prime piece to a potential championship contender. The Phillies also signed Taijuan Walker, Matt Strahm, Craig Kimbrell, and Josh Harrison to bolster their depth. The biggest acquisition they made in the trade market was relief pitcher Gregory Soto in a trade with Detroit. Jose Alvarado was rewarded with a 2-year extension, and Seranthony Dominguez also was given an extension. Some notable losses for Philadelphia include Noah Syndergaard, David Robertson, Gene Segura, and Brad Hand. Aaron Nola has not performed up to par with his usual numbers, and the Blue Jays are rolling right now. At this point, I'm assuming Guerrero Jr. will play, and Alek Manoah has had 2 decent starts in his last 2 outings. It is not often that the better team is the underdog, so I'm taking my chances that Toronto, who has a greater than .500 record at home, will beat the Phillies in Philadelphia. The Phillies are 2-10 against teams that are better than .500 this season. Furthermore, the Blue Jays are better on both offense and defense by scoring more runs and surrendering less runs over the course of the season so far. The Phillies are 1-6 in their last 7 games, and Toronto is 27 in their last 27 games following an off day. Our team pick is Toronto Blue Jays money line. Once again, Aaron Nola has yet to impress people this season with his lackluster performances. Toronto has a solid offense with Guerrero, Chapman, Bichette, and Varsho leading the charge. Manoah also carries an ERA well above 4.00 heading into this contest. While Rhys Hoskins is still unavailable for Philadelphia, Bryce Harper's recent return could propel them to a more productive offense. Tree Turner is always an elite presence on the basepaths that can score almost on a whim, and Kyle Schwarber has 8 home runs on the season already. Both offenses are productive enough to reach the over, and I have less faith in the pitching for both squads than the offense. Our total pick is over 8.5 runs.